everyone, and welcome to our second week of our At the Movies series. So as you just saw from that trailer, this week we are going to be talking about Little Women. Now, Little Women has a really special place in my heart. I've loved the book since I was younger. The book is still one of my all-time favorites, but I grew up loving the 1948 version of this film starring Elizabeth Taylor. And it sounds really random, but my grandmother only had 3 VHSs for us to watch when we'd stay with her for the summer, and those were Little Women, Kindergarten Cop, and Mrs. Doubtfire. So all 3 of those got watched a lot when I was a kid, and I just fell in love with Little Women. I remember asking my grandma to take it home to watch it at my house after we would visit for the summer. And the story centralizes around the March family. And now the March family has 4 daughters, and their relationships with each other and their outside relationships are really the focal point of the whole story. And those daughters are Meg, Jo, whose real name is Josephine, but nobody calls her that except for her aunt, who she doesn't really like, and then Amy, and then Beth. So those are the 4 girls, and they live with Marmee, which is their affectionate name for their mother, while their father is off being a chaplain for the Union Army during the Civil War. So this story takes place during the 1860s, and their house is in Concord, Massachusetts. Now, one of the reasons that I've always loved this story and its characters is that the characters are really, they're full characters. They're not perfect and they're not bad. They are admirable and honorable in some ways, and in other ways they're flawed. These girls all struggle with something. Some of them struggle with anger, some of them struggle with envy, jealousy, and all those things are confronted in the book and in the film. In the book itself centralizes a lot more on the Christianity aspect. The family is very devoted to their faith in the book. They're seen praying a lot, reading from the Bible. The fact that their father is a chaplain definitely plays into this as well. And while that's definitely undertoned in the movie itself, it's not as central as it is in the book. But the main thing I want to talk about today are the themes of generosity and sacrifice, as I believe that those are at the core of this story, just like they're at the core of Scripture. So the first scene that we're going to watch today is when Laurie meets the Marches. Now, Laurie, we typically nowadays assume is a female name, but in this case, it is a pet name that the girls call Mr. Lawrence's grandson. Now, Mr. Lawrence is their really wealthy neighbor, and Jo and Meg, as the 2 older daughters, have gone over to his house for a party when Meg sprains her ankle dancing. Jo doesn't really care for the dancing. She, in fact, burns the back of her skirt before she even gets there, and so Meg tells her to sit in a corner and just behave herself so no one notices how embarrassing her dress is. But Meg sprains her ankle. She doesn't want to bother anybody to take her home, but Laurie, having formed a quick friendship with Jo, decides that he's going to lend them his carriage so that he can get her home safe. And so he runs into the chaos and the love and just the life of the March women when he arrives. So let's watch this clip.